So one thing looking back in my uni years is, what did I learn? And I think, one thing I would tell my high school self is don't be so scared about the application process. I was definitely one of those students who ended up applying to 10, maybe 15 universities because I wasn't really for one, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I knew for sure that I wanted to be in the health field, but there were a lot of programs available nearby me, and I wasn't really sure which particular program I wanted to be in. And I was definitely really persuaded and swayed by a lot of my friends who were going for kin or nursing, etc. And I would also apply to the same programs as them because, again, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. And then second, I was also afraid that I wasn't going to be able to get into any program. So I applied to a lot. I had, maybe only 5 schools that I would probably want to go to. But then I had, the rest of 10, 15 others where they were just backups for me. But in reality, a lot of them I would not have went. And my grades weren't bad. I was a good student. So that was definitely not something that I would have needed to be concerned about. So looking back, I think if I would tell myself, I would, take the time to actually understand what are the programs I'm applying to. And in particular, I think, for example, if you look at a kin program at one university versus another kinesiology program, the program definitely varies, and you need to really understand what the program includes and entails in the next 4 years. So I would tell myself to actually look at the courses more, right? Like actually understand what would be the courses I would actually take at University A versus University B before deciding and, taking my parents' credit card and charging them all these different applications just because I, didn't do my research and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. And I would also tell myself to start looking at universities earlier, maybe in grade 10 and 11 instead of looking at it in grade 12. I think, in high school, you know that in grade 12, you have to apply to universities. You know that a lot of universities are going to look at grade 11 grades for early admittance. So in general, high school students do know that, by the time they get into grade 11, they need to buckle up, get good grades, and start thinking about what they want to apply to. So I too, was well aware of those timelines and those, high level milestones. But looking back, I would tell myself to actually take the time to actually ask myself, what am I interested in, instead of applying to, science programs, business programs, health programs, nursing, kin, all these different programs that in the end, half of them I was not interested in. So I would tell myself, really understand what you're interested in, really go deep dive into each program and look at what are the courses you have to take to see if you're even interested in them. For example, a biomed program at University A may require you to take a lot of different core sciences, whereas another biomed program at University B might be more health related, more case study focus, which is what I'm more interested in. So take the time to actually understand those courses and what you're going to take and how you actually imagine yourself in those programs. And maybe also I would tell myself, even if you don't want to visit the campus in person, go on online forums, look at what other people, existing students are, talking about in their program. Are they renting a lot? What are the vibes? Ask those current students questions so that you have a better grasp on, the culture of the university. Culture in the university definitely, plays a huge role in your next 4 years. I was lucky to have chosen a university blindly without visiting the campus, and that I really enjoyed the campus life. But some people don't enjoy the particular universities they go to. I currently work with someone who went to the same university as me, and she hated the culture and vibe on campus to the point that she switched out to another university. She thought the university did a lot of different things that didn't, jive well with her. But those same things, really jived well with me. So looking back, also make sure you actually truly understand the culture and not just apply because they have a reputation, for example. So these are the things that, looking back, I would tell myself: really understand what interests you, really understand what kind of programs you're applying to, and if you are even interested in attending. If you're not, then don't apply it and save yourself some money. And then lastly, take the time to actually understand the culture of the university you're applying to. It doesn't have to be in the form of attending an in-person visit on campus. You can definitely go on a lot of different online forums, like for example Reddit, to kind of ask current students to get a sense of their vibe, or even just search up or Google any pre-existing threads I can read. So those are my tips if I was to go back to the application process, and hopefully these tips will also help any current students who are currently undergoing the process. Good luck.